Welcome to the Fantasy Football Prophet podcast, hosted by Craig Phillips and Jeff Torrey. Visit us at fantasyfootballprophet.com. And now your hosts, Craig and Jeff.
Welcome everyone to the Fantasy Football Prophet podcast. I'm Craig Phillips, joined as always by Jeff Torrey. And today we have our wide receiver and tight end rankings. And actually, before we get into it, Jeff, we have not done our bet yet for the week. So we're going to have to find one within this. What was our bet last week? Do you even remember? Was it Chris Carson versus Lynch? Is that what we ended up going with?
Yes.
So you beat me, despite the injury.
I did, and once again, I picked a guy that got injured.
Yes, you did. I can't believe
three in a row.
We forgot to bring this up last
It's
time.
almost unbelievable. So what has it been? Jordy got injured, or Carson is out for
the year.
Looks
like. Most we don't know that for sure, but broken ankle.
It's
not looking good.
The week before I had Jordy, and he got hurt and had to leave the game, didn't come back. And then the week before that, who was it?
Oh, it was Jordy, then Kelvin Benjamin.
Oh, Kelvin Benjamin.
First week, no injuries.
Yeah, and I won that one. And then every week after that, I've been injured. That's insane.
We both got 2 victories, so we'll see when we go through these ranks who we think could be the option here. There's usually somebody that stands out. But before we get into that, make sure you go check us out on Twitter at the FF Prophet. Fantasy Football Prophet on Instagram. The website's fantasyfootballprophet.com. And wide receiver rankings. Number 1 at wide receiver. Is it still Antonio Brown?
Not for me.
Is it Mike Evans?
It is.
Okay. That's what I was wondering here. Because Mike Evans is my number 2. I did keep Brown number 1. It's just pretty much I just slot him in. But Mike Evans obviously jumped to 2. And it was an interesting thought because we talked about yesterday, going against New England, their defense has been just terrible. We both ranked Jameis Winston 3rd. So Mike Evans, he's been good. Another touchdown last week.
Yeah.
Just short of it on his second touchdown. It could be a big game for him. So, yeah, I figured you might be putting him number 1.
Yeah, finally, the guy that I ranked number 2 and famously number 1 for a long time in the preseason, to everyone's dismay, it finally gets the number 1 ranking for me.
He's been solid, though. I mean, there's nothing. If you had drafted him number 1 as the number 1 receiver,
yeah, you're not upset.
No, because what Antonio Brown gave you a 6 in standard gave you a 6.2 and a 3.4 this year. Two terrible weeks. I mean, Odell, he's given you a 3.6. Julio's been hurt again and given you a 6.6, a 3, and a 9.1, and 10.8 highest. Mike Evans might have been the pick. Honestly, it's not looking bad at all. Antonio Brown's obviously probably have more just because 2 big weeks, maybe, but that wouldn't have been a bad pick. So he's been more consistent, so I can see him being there. But I think it's just Antonio Brown versus Mike Evans.
Oh, yeah, sure. I'm down with that. That'd be good.
I'm just going to go with the top guys here. This is my second time picking Antonio Brown.
And I actually went against the grain on this one, I think. You never know what the consensus rankings are going to be, but I have Antonio Brown number 4, actually.
Okay. I mean, I can see it. I get it. And I'm the one who has him too high. Currently.
Can you ever have Antonio Brown too high, though?
All the ranks aren't in there, so it's going to change. He'll probably move up. Currently, as we stand, he's 6th.
Oh, wow.
And Mike Evans is number 1.
No kidding. Okay, well, hey, I actually never thought that was going to be it. I never thought I would have Antonio Brown number 4 and then be high on him.
Yep. And then my number 3 is AJ Green. Well, who's number 2 first? I've skipped your number 2.
Jordy.
Okay. He's my number 5. Experts have him number 2.
Dude, I'm going hand to hand. Who do they have number 3?
Number 3.
Am I just going to follow him down?
AJ Green.
Oh, okay.
AJ Green's my number 3, and I think AJ Green's been my number 3 like at least 3 weeks this season now.
Yeah,
I just like it. Yeah, he's not maybe putting up huge numbers every time, but he's been solid, and he's been. You're pretty much not going wrong with AJ Green, and Andy Dalton's better now. The whole worry the first couple weeks there was just overblown. AJ Green's good. So you went. Who's your number 3?
Number 3 is actually Dez.
Dez? Okay, I have him at 6.
He has been putting up numbers without a lot of, a lot of bulk, if you will. And we were talking about it. He had a rough start as far as matchups go. I mean, he was, shadowed by some of the best CBs out there. So I'm expecting this next stretch to really show what he's got. And he's been actually producing okay numbers anyway. So I really like his next couple of matchups.
And if he starts getting more, I mean, this is where he's been pretty safe. He gets the touchdowns in weeks where he's not getting many yards necessarily, but then he gets the yards this past week when he doesn't get the touchdown. So if he can put it all together, he's had that tough stretch. It's kind of, I think it's past now. So I guess the bye week next week, so that puts a damper in it. But I think he's past his really, really tough stretch. So I like him. He is the number 4 in the expert ranks this week, which is very high for Dez.
That is very high.
Where he's been. I have him 6th. I have one spot behind Jordy, because I have Odell's 4th right now. Where's Odell for you?
Odell is
all
number.
Injuries are.
Yeah, he's number 6 right now.
And he's 5th expert. So Odell, the injuries are starting to pile up, I would say. It's kind of worrying me. Started the year injured. The finger, that can't help. That can't be good for catching passes. It didn't seem like it affected him after the game or when he came back in the game, but you got to think all these injuries they add up where he's not quite the player he should be if he was healthy. And it's hard to get healthy during the season, and during an NFL football season. It's pretty much impossible to get healthy. The only chance you got is your bye week. And his isn't for another few. He still has 3 more games before his bye week, so it might be.
Yeah, and 2 of them against Denver and then Seattle.
This is the last. This is the last maybe good matchup for him. So he's still up there. What about Diggs?
I'm actually, dude, I can't get high enough on this guy, I feel like, but he's actually number 7 for me.
I have him 7 as well.
I was going to say, going against Chicago, he's been playing really well. That offense is still getting it done, even no matter what quarterback is really in there, at least, for Diggs.
Yep.
So, not a whole lot to dislike.
The same thing, 7. Yeah, he's been good. He's been consistent. I mean, they're looking for him. We've always thought he had the talent, and now he's actually been able to show it. So I like him. And plus this week, there's the bye weeks take some players out of this. So, okay, somebody like Brandon Cooks. He's so up and down. Mm-hmm. Last week we ranked him high. Do we rank him low this week? What do you do? I've come up with the mindset that I want to put him like 15th every week.
I was actually laughing because I was about to say, yeah, I put him at 13, and that's about where he's going to stay for the rest of the year.
And that's kind of where I put him 12th. And he would be lower if there was more players out there.
Right, exactly.
I want to put him in that range. He's not going to go lower than 15th probably. He's going to be 10 to 15, I think, every week for me. Yeah. I think that's where he needs to be. He's going to have weeks where he's much higher than that, but he's going to have weeks where he's lower. He's a tough guy. You can't pick and choose when you play him. You just got to play him. Because I don't think it doesn't matter who they're playing. So if he's on your team, he's in your lineup.
The crazy part about that is he's actually the 3rd overall wide receiver right now because of that one big week 3 performance of 27 points. Other than that, he had 9, 4, 27, 4, and it's gonna be one of those where he's completely boom or bust, and he's gonna help you win at times. But I think his production, like being number 3 overall, kind of doesn't really tell the story.
Another big boomer bust guy is Tyreek Hill, and I don't ever know what to do with him either because he just has the talent to just really break out. So I have him, I think, 16th this week, which is probably lower than I have. But
okay, so I actually have him 10th.
Okay, so I lowered him. It's not even. He's higher than that. He's 8th in consensus. And I get it. It's these boomer bust guys just. They worry me.
I totally agree, but I actually like Tyreek Hill more than I like Cooks because you look at his numbers, right? And okay, Brandon Cooks had that one big week, but Tyreek Hill, it 20 points and 5 and 15, and then this past one. So he definitely boom or bust a little bit, but he's a little safer. He gets a little more of a floor. And he hasn't hit that big one like Cooks has yet, but I think he's only a matter of time before he does.
And so, maybe this is the week. Again, if you have him on team, you can't not play him, right?
Exactly. You have to play him.
Yeah, it's a tough guy to not play. Who is your top 10, the end of your top 10? We can basically went through the top, 7 or ish.
Sure, let me just run through them.
Keenan Allen's 8.
So I got Evans, Nelson, Brian, Brown, and then Green as my top 5.
Yep.
And then I have Beckham, Diggs, Keenan Allen.
Yeah, I figured he's 8.
Yep,
and
number
8th is
he really?
Yeah.
Oh, man, I thought I was going to be high on him again.
DeAndre Hopkins is 9.
Yeah, DeAndre Hopkins.
He's my 9.
he's a guy I don't want because going against KC, I think that Watson will probably struggle a little more than he has in the past. But DeAndre Hopkins has looked so good.
Yeah.
And then Tyreek Hill to finish out my number 2.
I figured the 8 and 9 had to be those two. It's just, they're Keenan Allen's going to stay around this range all year.
Yeah, I think it's only a matter of time before he gets in the end zone, and he's been putting up, he can put up over 100 yards pretty easily. So,
what about Amari Cooper?
Oh man, the fall from grace. Where do I have Cooper? I have him all the way down at 23, and I think I'm kind of being nice to him.
I'm being really nice this week because I like to go against the grain once in a while, where a guy's just everyone turns on a guy and he's the worst thing in the world, and all of a sudden I move him up a little bit, or how everyone jumps on a guy and I kind of lower him. So I put him at 17, and I think he's gonna. I have Amari Cooper like 17. I'm so crazy. Like, right. What happened? It happened so quickly.
Yeah, I mean everyone's low on him, but for good reason. He's been struggling, and that's probably being nice.
And he's 25th in experts, so I know I was gonna be higher, and he has the talent though, but it's not even that he's played tough teams. He's dropping the ball.
Yeah, and we don't know. And we also don't know if Carr's going to be out there. I mean, I think you could easily drop him lower.
Yep. All right, Chris Hogan.
Dude, the guy has not disappointed me. He has that 17 for me, and I think that's a relatively decent position for him. And, I mean, he just keeps producing.
And we talked about this last week, and I even made this, I don't know if you saw it, Jeff. You might have not even seen this. I put this into an Instagram post, a minute clip of us talking about Chris Hogan and how I was down on Chris Hogan, and he scores another touchdown, makes me look like an idiot. I put him at 20 this week. Expert wise, he's 15th. So everyone's buying him. He's scoring touchdowns.
I can't believe I'm lower than everyone else.
It's crazy. Like, he's scoring touchdowns. Until the touchdowns go away, how do you not rank him there? Brady's obviously looking for him in the end zone. And it's a thing with Brady, I think. Some things seem more fluky. I don't think that's a fluke with him.
No, I don't either.
And so he's 20th. You're playing him probably at your flex. Or if you have a third wide receiver spot, you're playing him there. And then, you just have to do it. What about Randall Cobb?
I have him at 21.
I put him 15th. I'm buying in.
I could have guessed that one. You've been really high on Randall Cobb, and he has been doing very well. I actually don't. I'm not sure exactly how that wide receiver is rolling out quite yet. I haven't heard anything too definitive. I don't know if you have, but
not yet.
Cobb could kind of, jump up. He's probably going to be the number 2 this week. So I don't know. And anytime you're with Aaron Rodgers, I like you a lot.
Another guy that I just have to bring him up every week, Sammy Watkins.
No, where do I have him this week?
Sammy.
He took it. Oh, you're not going to like this. Where do you have him?
I have him 24th.
Okay, that's not too far off. I have him at 30th.
Yeah, you're about right. And the rest of the people, he's about 29th right now, consensus-wise. It's become, as much as I like him, he's boom or bust, but when he busts, it's even worse than like the Cooks in Hill.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't even get looked at.
No.
It's frustrating because I know how good he can be, but I really think that's the way the Rams are going to play. They're 3-1 doing what they've done. They're trying to keep Goff in good situations where he's not bombing the ball out there. He's safe passes. They're going to run the ball with Gurley, check down to Gurley. I think that's what the offense is, and it's working, so why wouldn't they? Especially when you have this, have a young back, or young quarterback. It's going to be tough to play Sammy Watkins. He's at best a third receiver, at best a flex. He's not that wide receiver 2 like I wanted. And I don't think he's there. I don't think you can put him there. And the rest of the wide receivers, it is ugly after you get like mid-20s, right? It's with the bye weeks, I don't even want to look at it because my ranks are just all over the board. I don't like it. Devin Funchess, where's he?
I know.
Right?
Sadly enough, he's a starter for me, so he's 29th.
I see. Wow. That happened quick.
He kind of have to. I mean, he played well, and let's be honest, like there's a lot of guys missing right now. He like I spoke about in the other one, the other podcast. You look at his numbers, and they haven't been bad. He's been kind of consistent, and finally he got the big game, so I don't expect that. But at the same time, like I think, 5 to 8 points is pretty fair.
Yep.
So got to give him his just due. Where do you have Fitzgerald landing?
14th.
I thought I was going to be high on him, but I have him 14th too. I don't want to, but he keeps producing.
When
it's not like huge numbers, but at the same time,
he's safe enough where the rest of these players, if they're not producing every week, Fitzgerald usually is. In the bye weeks, put him up there even more, and you feel relatively safe with him in your lineup. But when is he going to start tailing off? Because this is what he's done for the last few years now. Good starts, and then he starts to fall off.
Yeah. And where do you think he is right now ranked in the wide receivers?
For the season?
Yeah.
I mean, he's probably top 10.
Yeah, he's number 10.
Yeah,
once again.
That's what he does. And he starts the year that way, and he's a good option. You feel pretty comfortable with him in your starting lineup right now, I think, that you're going to get some catches. It's crazy how he just keeps doing it. But he is, and every year you wait for him to fall off. I mean, he's not the same player he was 5-10 years ago, obviously, but he's still a very good player who's going to continue to be productive for you. All right, anybody else that really, really stands out for you? That's just interesting, and because there's not to me.
No, I mean, I guess the only other one I'd be actually there's two guys I'm kind of interested in. One being, I just want to know where you have Devontae Parker.
I should have him lower than I do because the offense is terrible. I really should, but I have him 11th.
Oh, wow. Okay, I have him at 16th, and I thought that was kind of being generous because I'm not sure.
14th in the expert ranks.
Is he? I was going to say, he's actually been doing fairly well, though.
He actually did okay for how bad that offense was. He was respectable.
Yeah.
And I still think the talent's there, and I just don't like the list right now of players. So I'm playing Parker every week as a wide receiver, too. I think Miami can't be that bad, can they? Right, like,
I mean, they could
maybe
be.
They are, but I just usually when teams that bad offensively, you just know why. Like, why are the Jets right now better than the Dolphins are in offense? They shouldn't be, I feel like, but they are. I feel like they're gonna step up a little bit.
And then the other one I was actually interested in is Tyrell Williams.
All right, Williams.
I know that's a kind of a strange one to pull out of a hat, but he'd had a good game last week, and you're wondering if you can build on that. What do you think about that one?
29th. 29th for the week.
Okay, yeah. I actually am at 24th.
And that's about right in line. If you look at the experts, say I'm 23rd. Right now he's up there. And I like this because this was a waiver wire pickup for me last week.
Ooh, that's a good one.
So I feel pretty good about that. I worry. This week he's still going to be pretty decent. I worry about what's going to happen if Mike Williams comes back in a couple weeks, if Mike Williams eats into that work or not. But Tyrell Williams, we thought he was good. This is what we thought he would be beginning of the year. And he hasn't really done much yet until this past week. So,
well, I do have to say this, though. The only game he really disappeared was against KC.
Yep.
And he had Denver and Miami before that, and he's still, respectable. He got you 5 points. It's not great by any means, but no one was playing him really.
Yep.
And then against Philly, he finally showed what he can do. And then you're going against Giants and then Oakland before you hit Denver again. I just think for the next couple games, this guy is kind of primed for a really good point production.
All right, I don't have any other guys here. This is just bye weeks are hitting us.
Yeah. Nope. Let's go ahead and jump to tight end.
All right. Number one. I just don't make a switch. I just don't. It's Gronk.
The first two are actually my first three are the same.
Gronk, Kelsey, Ertz.
Yep, that's what I'm going to do.
That's the only people that have been consistent right now.
And Ertz has been insanely consistent. He's pretty much 9.5 every time.
We're the podcast that called it. I mean, we're probably not the only one, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure other people liked Ertz.
We're the only ones that like Zach Ertz.
Yeah, but we were good on that.
He's getting you 9, 9, 9, 9, 8. That's what he's getting you every week. He's consistent. He's not letting you down. If you're not getting the big week, but you're not getting the nothing. You're getting points out of your tight end position if he's your guy. And the rest of the players just aren't. There's a lot of guys that aren't getting you anything. So
who do you have at 4 and 5 then?
I hate this. I hate this group. I hate tight ends. This is what we talked about last week. I hate this so much. But number 4, I got Charles Clay. I went Charles Clay, number 4.
I do too.
Gotta be kidding me.
No. I mean, he's actually been, he's been one of the most consistent guys. I mean, he has. You look at his numbers and you can't get around it anymore. I know he's Buffalo. I know he's not a name, really.
I thought I was going to be crazy on that.
No,
at this point, I'm looking for consistency. That's what I want right now in my tight end position. If I don't have Gronk and I don't have Kelsey, I want consistency. And the other guys aren't really getting it for you. Ertz is, Clay has been. So that's what I'm going with. And honestly, do you feel comfortable with like anything beyond 4? Really beyond 3, but 4. Like my 5th is Jimmy Graham. I keep throwing him there because I don't know what else to do.
Yeah, I have Jimmy Graham at number 6. I have Delaney Walker at 5.
And I have Delaney Walker at number 6. So they're just interchangeable right there. I mean, Graham, he did nothing the first 2 weeks, but the last 2 weeks he's gotten you 7 and 6. If he can do the 7 and 6 kind of thing, that's crazy. We're talking about a guy who's going to be 5th or 6th in our ranks. We're just hoping 6, 7 points, you're good. You can stay there at number 5 or 6. That's how bad the tight end position is right now. And that's why, I put Kyle Rudolph at 7. And
I actually have him number at this point. You really, I took the upside.
Yep, because he's not done much.
No, so my 7 through 10 are, I would have no problem if people called BS on me, but I have Evan Ingram at number 7.
I have number 8.
I thought I was gonna be crazy on that, and this is probably a little high, but I still have Hunter Henry at number 8.
I have number 9.
I guess I'm not that high, and the thing is, he's been struggling, but he's still such a red zone target. And there's only a matter of time before they have to use the guy more. He had a one-handed catch in the back of the end zone. He only caught 2 passes. One was a touchdown, saves the week. But I would rather have him in there than, anyone underneath. And unfortunately, Jason Witten finally fell out of the top 10 for me.
He's been bad the last 2 weeks.
He started off on fire the first 2 weeks, and then he kind of, converted back. But who do you have for actually, did we already – who was your number 7?
It was Rudolph.
Oh, okay. Rudolph, then you have
Ingram and Henry.
Then
Ebron. And he's not even been good.
I was going to say.
I was hoping for a touchdown. Honestly, that's all I'm hoping for is just a touchdown. And so I'm going to keep. I don't like the rank. It's not a good rank. I know it. It's just I think he has maybe he gets you a touchdown. So that's why.
Yeah, it doesn't really bother me though. I mean, I have him at 14, but I actually have Safarian Jenkins at number 10.
Yeah, I mean, sure.
Going against Cleveland and. I don't feel good about that by any means. And I actually have Brait I jumped over him, but Brait at number 9.
I have Brait 11, so I'm not.
Yeah, I still think
crazy with it.
It kind of scares me that OJ Howard caught a touchdown as well. I thought Brait was going to be a little more of the dominant tight end at the moment, but going against New England, once again we both think Jameis Winston's going to do really well. That's why Mike Evans is ranked high, and that's why Brait is ranked high for me.
Yeah, Brait's been decent. So. With how weak I can't believe how bad the tight end position is. I really have a hard time with this.
It's been really bad.
Martellus Bennett's been doing nothing. Where'd you put Martellus Bennett?
I have him at 15th.
I have him at 15th.
I just don't care about the guy.
We've been sticking him around 10, but it's to the point where he's not doing it. One guy who is interesting who had a big week was Tyler Kroft. Did you rank him at all?
No, I didn't.
It's more of just an oversight way too.
I was just say it's one of those things where I look down the list and I'm like, I hate everyone on here. I'm like,
and the reason is because with Eifert, we think he's still out, and it just makes it a weird situation. So, and Kroft had 2 touchdowns. So, is that something? I don't really know yet. I want to see another week because before that he only had 3 for 28, and Eifert was out that week too. So. Sometimes people and it was against Cleveland. So he just boomed 1 week. If he does something again this week, then he can jump in our ranks. He can be up there and we can think about him. But until then, there's not really a point.
No. But at the same time, I mean, if you don't have one of those top 6, 7 guys, honestly, at this point, if you wanted to try him out, I wouldn't actually, I wouldn't blame you.
Hey, and at least Austin Hooper went 5 for 50 last week.
Yeah, Hooper's coming back.
He's not playing this week. So.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say,
but I was saying,
nice
somebody
to see
like that, it's nice to see some of those guys. So when he gets in, we'll maybe put him around 10. But that's it. I'm done with tight ends because this is a terrible position.
No, and that's why I'm sticking with Hunter Henry, really. And I picked up Evan Ingram in one of my leagues, which I like a lot. But I wish I could get my hands on, obviously I'm never going to get Gronk or Kelsey, but I wish I would have got my hands on Ertz early like I wanted to.
Yep. Yeah, he's been solid. I'm happy I have Travis Kelsey.
Yeah, that would be a luxury at the moment.
All right, that's going to be it for the Wide Receivers and Tight Ends show. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll do a little Thursday night reaction. Going to be a good one. Patriots, Bucks. We'll see if Jameis really tear him up.
That's actually a lot I want to see.
Yeah, I'm very interested in this game, so we'll talk about that tomorrow. Late tonight. Either way, it'll be out for you in the morning. You can listen to our thought. Talk to you guys then.